I'm still trying to wrap my head around if Danny Jacobs versus Andy Lee is a fight that I'm really interested in. Okay, it is a good fight. I understand that Andy Lee does have the knockout power and the ability to be able to beat a Danny Jacobs, especially since Danny Jacobs was put down by a lighter punching Sergio Mora, and also he's been knocked out cold in his career before. Danny Jacobs, in my opinion, is the overall better fighter than Andy Lee, and at this point in time in his career, more marketable. Even though Andy Lee has um, that strong Irish fan base. Still, I'm just, I guess I'm not too excited about the fight. I don't know, but I understand on paper it is a good fight and it is a good it's a good fight in the ring and it's a good fight promotional wise for these fighters because when it comes to Andy Lee, they were already saying that Andy Lee was going to either fight Gennady Golovkin if he would have beat Billy Joe Saunders, but they were also laying the groundwork for Andy Lee to fight the winner of Peter Quillen versus Danny Jacobs. Remember, Peter Quillen fought Andy Lee in what was a close fight in which Andy Lee actually won the second half of the fight to me, and Peter Quillen hasn't really looked the same since. And Peter Quillen, as we saw, got knocked out in the first round by Danny Jacobs. So the storyline is there, but the bigger question is, if this fight happens, will the winner fight Gennady Golovkin this year? Because when you look at Gennady Golovkin's side, he's fighting Dominic Wade in the mandatory. He's the mandatory to fight Canelo. His team are saying that they want to fight Canelo in September, but Canelo's team, especially with the 155 catchweight bullshit, they're not really planning on, from looking at it from the outside, on planning on fighting Golovkin until at least May of 2017. So when it comes to the WBA, who has Danny Jacobs as their WBA world champion and Gennady Golovkin as their WBA super world champion, two belts in the same division by the same organization, the WBA has said that they're working to eliminate Danny Jacobs' title. And the reason and the way they're eliminating it is having the world champion fight the super world champion. Now, the WBA hasn't really kept their word because since they said they were going to start getting rid of this secondary title, they ordered a fight like Ricky Burns versus Duraco for the WBA world title, and Adrian Broner being the WBA super world. It's a whole confusing mess. It's a video in itself. But the point I'm trying to make is it makes sense for Danny Jacobs to fight Gennady Golovkin this year. Now, I understand the political landscape. Danny Jacobs is a fighter who's primarily promoted by Lou DiBella, but he's an Al Heyman fighter, so we know he doesn't have a promotional contract with this promoter. Danny Jacobs is a Showtime PBC fighter, even though he doesn't have a contract with Showtime or doesn't have he is a PBC fighter. Gennady Golovkin is an HBO fighter. Gennady Golovkin can't leave HBO or he'll be in the breach of his contract to fight Danny Jacobs on Showtime. So Danny Jacobs would have to move over to HBO. Now, what would happen if the WBA had said, like they should, okay, well, the next fight we order is Golovkin versus Jacobs. They have to fight within the next 6 months. Now, I'm calling the WBA out and say that they should order it. Like with the political landscape of the 160-pound division, there's no reason why at this point in time that Danny Jacobs shouldn't be leading up to a fight with either Canelo, who's fighting Amir Khan, an Al Heyman fighter, or Golovkin, who's fighting Dominic Wade, an Al Heyman fighter. So, it's all about how you look at it. But they're talking about Danny Jacobs versus Andy Lee. I know I'm saying at the beginning of the video, I'm not really excited about it. But at the same time, the storyline is enough to be excited about it, even if I'm not. I'm going to watch the fight. I'm going to tune in. I'm going to cover the fight. But really looking at it, who else were they really going to fight? I would have loved to see Danny Jacobs go try to unify with the WBO champion Billy Joe Saunders, but we don't know if Billy Joe Saunders plans on fighting tough competition anytime soon. And also, when it comes to Danny Jacobs' belt, they don't do unifications for that secondary title as far as the WBO is concerned. But I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. As soon as some more news comes about, I'm going to be doing some more videos. I'm going to say this in all of my videos like I've been saying lately. I've been slow on the videos, but major things are happening, and I'm keeping it close to the chest. I haven't been on social media running my mouth. I haven't been nowhere, but hang in there. We got some good things going, and I'm going to say by May, June, you're going to see a whole different T Street Controversy that you've ever seen before. Please subscribe on my social media. It's right down below in the description box. T Street Controversy, T Street Controversy Live.